This is your Hdsr Sports Report, the Victor Valley's only weekly action highlights sports program, covering our area's schools, teams, athletes, and sporting events. Kennyard Edwards Jr. scores 5 touchdowns, and Apple Valley makes it 6th straight over Granite Hills in the barrel game. Kennyard Edwards Jr., a senior, runs a kickoff back 90 yards and scores on runs of 26, 58, 48, and 19 yards. His 5 touchdowns, a school record in the barrel game rivalry. He adds 1 two-point conversion. Apple Valley gets a pair of defensive touchdowns, the first on Gavin Hambrick's scoop and 6. This puts the Sun Devils up 21-6 in the first. This, a Jacob Soria punt return, the junior linebacker running it in from 40 yards out, a minute 15 into the second quarter. The Sun Devils lead 27-6 at this point. Apple Valley quarterback J. Max Dinigal hits Tyron Smith in the end zone on this 4th and 5, making it 54-13 with time running out in the third quarter and prompting a running clock the rest of the way. Junior running back Stephen Wright scores on this 4th and 5 from midfield to close out the scoring in the 61-20 decision. Cougars quarterback Tyler Karen throws 3 scoring passes, the longest this 60-yarder to Victor Atkins Vives. Granite Hills enters the game ranked number 1 in CIF Division 14. First time ever a Cougars football team has been ranked atop a CIF poll. Serrano and Apple Valley are the lone teams among MRL and DSL schools undefeated 2 weeks into the season. Adelanto is the only team from the DSL with a Week 2 victory. The Saints overcoming Hesperia's 15-0 lead to overtake the Scorpions. Adelanto was without marquee players Marshawn Buchanan and Hosea Stokes due to injuries. Valu Quality Truck Bodies shines the video sports spotlight on Apple Valley players who have led the Sun Devils to their quality start. Linebacker Sam Jang is the team's tackles leader, 16 tackles in the win over Granite Hills after a team-high 10 in Game 1 against Silverado. This huge hit by Gavin Hambrick is ruled illegal, leading with the helmet. The Sam Jang touchdown is nullified, and the Sun Devils actually penalized, depriving Sam Jang of the touchdown. In post-game comments, Sam Jang alludes to being denied the TD after reiterating his goal for the season.
Well, this year, we really want that ring. It's my senior season. All of my senior brothers, we just want that ring. That's how we're going to work for it.
Did you feel like you were denied a touchdown tonight?
Yes, sir, I did. Yes, sir.
Good luck.
I really wanted that.
Yeah, good luck next week against Barstow.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You betcha.
3 adverse repercussions for the Sun Devils from the leading with the helmet penalty. Not only is Apple Valley denied the touchdown, the Cougars retain the ball, and Tyler Karen's pass to Kason Smith raises the Granite Hills points total to 20. This a second 60-yard touchdown pass on the night against the Sun Devils defense. Factors that severely impede the Cougars' efforts to upset the Sun Devils: frequent dropped passes on offense, and on defense, the inability to stop Apple Valley on 4th down situations. The Sun Devils put the final points on the scoreboard on Stephen Wright's 45-yard run. It comes on a 4th and 5. Third touchdown of the year for the 5'7", 170-pound junior. It is the last of 9 touchdowns on the night for the Sun Devils. Another 4th down conversion. Sophomore quarterback J. Max Venigal had added this scoring pass to his early season total. This TD to Tyron Smith coming on a 4th and goal at the 5. This Valu parade of barrel game highlights includes the 5 touchdowns scored by Kennyard Edwards Jr. This places Apple Valley's 5'9", 175-pound senior among Southern California leading ball carriers with 7 touchdowns and 44 points scored 2 games into the season. The Sun Devils move up to number 8 in CIF Division 6 rankings. They host Barstow next. Granite Hills' strong showing against Apple Valley keeps the Cougars ranked number 1 in CIF Division 14. Junior quarterback Tyler Karen throws 3 scoring passes to account for all the Cougars' touchdowns against the Sun Devils. The 6'3", 185-pound signal caller has 5 TD passes on the year. The Cougars go to Little Rock. Next, those Golden League Lobos are 0-1. Serrano's 48-17 win over Silverado sees the Diamondbacks remain ranked at number 4 in CIF Division 7. Serrano hosts Yucaipa next. Oak Hills drops to number 13 in Division 5 rankings. The 1-1 Bulldogs go to Palmdale to play the 1-0 Falcons, a team ranked 9th in Division 8. In a DSL versus MRL matchup, Hesperia's Scorpions host Victor Valley. The 1-1 Jackrabbits fell to number 19 in the Division 9 rankings. Adelanto slips to number 5 in Division 12. The Saints have 0-2 Bassett next in La Puente. Bassett lost 63-0 to Franklin last week. Silverado is ranked number 20 in CIF Division 6. The Hawks seek win number 1 on the year when they go to Valencia.
Sultana seeks win number 1 under coach Joe Scherf when the Sultans host 29 Palms. This online sports report presented by Valu Quality Truck Bodies. Family owned and operated since 1954. Valu manufactures state-of-the-art truck bodies for the construction industry nationwide. Valu Quality Truck Bodies, supporting teams, schools, and athletes throughout the Victor Valley. Apple Valley brings on the heat in Game 6 of the crosstown rivalry Barrel game. Granite Hills making history. The first Cougars team ranked number 1 in CIF football poll. On a Labor Day weekend that has Hurricane Dorian slamming the East Coast, the Sun Devils bring on a hurricane-like force of their own. Kenyard Edwards Jr. slamming his way into the Barrel game record books, the first player to score 5 touchdowns in the rivalry series. Sun Devils fans occupy the unusual perch on the visitors' side of sun-drenched Newton T. Bass Stadium, the biggest crowd ever filling the visitors' section, signs reminding all of Apple Valley's dominance in the Barrel Game Series. Fans anxious to see their team fulfill yet another milestone in a season with a purpose, every player applying purpose in a personal interpretation.
Hdsr Jr. I'm starting running back for Apple Valley number 2. Purpose, every time I touch the ball, at least try to get a first down. No fumbles this year.
The 5'9", 170-pound senior scores the game's first touchdown, 26 yards on Apple Valley's opening possession. He carries for 213 yards on the night on 15 carries. The Cougars have a hurricane-like force of their own, Hurricane Karen. Tyler Karen, the 6'3" junior quarterback, throws for 3 touchdowns, exposing Apple Valley's glaring weaknesses in pass defense. This 60-yarder to Samarian Williams. Tyler Karen tossed a pair of scoring passes the week prior in Granite Hill's 42-0 rout of Riverside Prep. Opening kickoff, Sun Devil Gavin Velazquez with the bone-jarring tackle. Gavin Velazquez, 6 foot, 175-pound junior. Hurricane Tyler Karen and the Cougars immediately launch Coach Alex Gonzalez's attack plan. Kason Smith catches the Tyler Karen pitch and is not brought down easily. Kason Smith, 6'5", junior, gain of 5 on Granite Hill's first play from scrimmage. Angelo Guy picks up the game's first down. The 5'7", 156-pound senior and team captain coming off 91 yards rushing the week before. The Sun Devils' defense stiffens junior linebacker Gabriel Carrasco, 21 among the tacklers. The Cougars will be forced to punt, and Apple Valley sets up their opening possession at their own 35. Cougars' defensive leaders this night, 52 is Jonathan Valencia, The tackle for no gain, the 6'3", 205-pound senior linebacker led the Cougars in tackles the week before, 10 against Riverside Prep. Apple Valley's first big play, it is 2nd and 9 at the 43. Kenyard Edwards Jr. gets outside and down to the Cougars' 26. From the 26, Kenyard Edwards Jr. takes the handoff, cuts outside, sheds a tackle, and scores the first of his 4 rushing touchdowns. 7-0 Sun Devils, 7 minutes showing on the first quarter clock. Granite Hills responds with a 7-play, 81-yard scoring drive, capped by Tyler Caron's 60-yard touchdown pass to Samarian Williams. The Cougars miss on their extra point attempt. It is 7-6 at the 4:44 mark of the first quarter. Apple Valley retaliates immediately and with extreme effectiveness. Kenyard Edwards Jr. cradles the ball at his own 9, starts up the middle, and zigzags his way through Cougars defenders on the 91-yard scoring jaunt. 15 seconds after the Cougars had pulled within 1, the Sun Devils are back up by 8, 14-6. Samarian Williams' attempt to replicate the run back is tripped up by the Sun Devils' Gavin Hambrick, this special teams tackle, but a prelude to a very special play the 6'1", 200-pound sophomore will add to his highlights resume. We have made frequent reference to hurricanes, but we are in a geographical region more noted for earthquakes, and the Sun Devils defense makes some earth-shattering plays on this series. 25 is Jeremy Justice II, all-MRL strong safety. 11, Sam Jang, the hard tackle by the 6'1", 190-pound senior and returning all-MRL linebacker. Cougars at their own 41. Jeremy Justice II strips the ball loose. Gavin Hambrick scoops it up and scoots into the end zone 90 seconds after the kickoff return for a touchdown. It is 21-6 Sun Devils. The next scoring comes when the Cougars punter fields the low snap and shanks the kick. The line of scrimmage, the Granite Hills 34. Watch 47, Jacob Soria. He one-hops the punt and glides into the end zone. This is a minute 15 into the second quarter, making it 27-6 Sun Devils. Jacob Soria, 6', 190-pound junior linebacker. The Cougars' offense goes right back to work. Clutch third down pass completions by Tyler Caron, moving the ball from Granite Hills territory past midfield. Samarian Williams with the reception for a first down. This time, Micah Pratt, the reception. Micah Pratt, 5'10", 160-pound wide receiver. But the Cougars' advance is hampered by a penalty here, a dropped pass there, and the Sun Devils take over on downs at their own 32. 2 plays later, Kenyard Edwards Jr. strikes again. In Apple Valley's season-opening win, Kenyard Edwards Jr. touchdown runs were both from midfield. This night, 2 more rushing touchdowns from 50 yards or more. This R2TK camera angle shows better the blocking scheme. 53, Alfred Garibay III blocks down. James Reed, 57, handles the nose guard. 66, Derek Cox. 67, left guard Xavier Arias pulls and leads the way. 52, Dakota Alvarez points out that all these O linemen are underclassmen except Derek Cox. The 60-yard touchdown caps a 2-play, 68-yard scoring drive that consumes 45 seconds of the second quarter clock. Sun Devils up by 28. It is 34-6. Granite Hills stages a scoring drive of their own on their next possession, the final 15 yards on the screen pass from Tyler Caron to Angelo Guy. 34-13 the score, the final scoring of the first half. Video Sports concludes this report on Midway's big plays and playmakers at this point. Watch for second half highlights forthcoming. Midway Home Solutions offers unbelievable savings throughout September. Purchase $1,000 or more in appliances and get a Blim freezer or Blim refrigerator for 50% off the already low price. Midway Home Solutions. Your High Desert Sports Report is brought to you by Down Home Grill in Victorville on the corner of Bear Valley Road and Ridgecrest Drive. Bid fast and last. World-class auctioneers, family-owned and operated liquidation experts. Midway Home Solutions in Victorville, providing highest quality home appliances at discount prices for 6 decades. Valu Quality Truck Body, family-owned and operated since 1954. Valu manufactures state-of-the-art truck bodies for the construction industry nationwide. Desert High Transportation, reliable and dependable non-emergency transportation for ambulatory and wheelchair passengers. Iwanzak Law Firm, trial lawyers for serious problems. And by the Community Table Restaurant in the Holiday Inn in Victorville, supporting High Desert teams, athletes, and sports programs. Granite Hills remains the highest-ranked team among DSL and MRL schools. Silverado's triple-threat superstar, Devin Gandy, and Apple Valley's Kenyard Edwards Jr., leading big play impact players in the early going. Devin Gandy is the Hawks' leading pass receiver. He has an 83-yard reception for a touchdown, a returning all-DSL two-way selection wide receiver and cornerback. Devin Gandy's 166 yards on kick returns runs his total offense production to an even 300 yards in 2 games. Fellow senior Shamar Phillips, 21, is the Hawks' leading tackler through 2 games, averaging just under 10 tackles per game. Coach Matt Rohrbaugh's Apple Valley lopsided victories provide the Sun Devils with area leaders in a number of categories. Running back Kenyard Edwards Jr. has 474 all-purpose yards and 7 touchdowns scored. Sophomore quarterback J. Max Denigel leads area passers with 352 yards and 19 completions. 8 different Sun Devils have caught passes in the first 2 games. Junior wide receiver Tyron Smith has 6 receptions and 2 of J. Max Denigel's 4 TD passes. Granite Hills junior Tyler Karen has 5 scoring passes, tops among area quarterbacks. Coach Alex Gonzalez sees his Cougars retain the number 1 ranking in CIF Division 14. Adelanto quarterback Angel Ochoa has thrown for 306 yards and 4 touchdowns. Joaquin Banks, 22, leads all tacklers from Desert Sky League teams. The senior linebacker has 22 stops for the defending CIF champion Saints of Coach Gali Wadoud. The area's leading tackler, according to statistics available on Max Preps, Apple Valley linebacker Sam Jang, 11. The returning all-MRL first-team selection, 16 tackles in the barrel game, added to 10 in the season-opening win against Silverado. I mention, according to stats available on Max Prep, because all teams do not post individual statistics in a timely manner, if at all. Thus, team leaders for some schools are unavailable. Serrano's leading tackler is 6'1" free safety Earl Hudson, 4, 10 solo tackles among his team-high 14 for the Diamondbacks. Coach Casey Mahalchek's unbeaten D-backs maintain their number 4 ranking in the CIF Division 7 poll. Wakil Sullivan's 353 yards rushing leads all area ball carriers. The 5'8", 165-pound senior has 399 all-purpose yards. Junior free safety Jalon Richardson is Oak Hill's leading tackler, 6 solo stops among his team-high 11 tackles for Coach Robert Kistner's defending MRL champion Bulldogs. The Victor Valley firm of Schumpert and Schumpert leads Jackrabbits defenders in the early going. Strong safety Amoria, 11, and linebacker Amarian, 26. Juniors for first-year Rabbits coach Jeff Vanover. Senior safety Luis Torres leads Hesperia Scorpion tacklers with 11. Coach Casey Goodnow's Scorpions host the Victor Valley Jackrabbits in a Week 3 pairing of DSL versus MRL teams. The Community Table Restaurant strives to shine the spotlight on our area's outstanding athletes. The Community Table Restaurant is located in Victorville's Holiday Inn. The staff and management of the Community Table Restaurant and Holiday Inn, longtime avid supporters of high desert teams, schools, and sports programs. The Victor Valley College Rams open the 2019 season at LA Valley. The Rams' home opener September 21st against Southwestern. The Community Table Restaurant serves up this flashback to the Rams' 2017 season-opening victory over West LA, then 2018's home opener against LA Valley. Flashback highlights showcase former Granite Hills Cougars Carlos Majaras and Andrew Glass, Oak Hills Bulldogs Nolan Bramer, Rocky Sua, and Kevin Muracan, Silverado Hawks Michael Bonham, Dana Jenkins and Cameron Spratley, and Barstow Aztec Eric Parra. The Victor Valley College Rams open the season hosting LA Valley Saturday, September 1st. We flash back to the 2017 Rams home opener. Mighty Sean White scores the winning touchdown in the Victor Valley College Rams' 24-21 come-from-behind victory over West Los Angeles. The all-conference fullback carries the Rams' offense on his back and leads Coach Dave Hoover's 2017 troops to their second win of the season. Former Barstow Aztec Eric Parra kicks off. Former Granite Hills Cougar Carlos Majaras, 4, and James Zachary, 37, the tacklers. The Rams' opening offensive series begins from their own 31. 320-pound Rocky Sua, 55, over the ball, the former Oak Hills Bulldog, with another former Bulldog at quarterback, Nolan Bramer. 50 is another former Oak Hills freshman, 310-pound Kevin Muracan. Nolan Bramer takes to the air for the first time. 84 is Robert Evans, the 6'5", 275-pound tight end, playing on his former high school field at Silverado. 2 plays later, Nolan Bramer hits Brayon Williams in the end zone, and the Rams cap a very impressive opening drive. 11 plays, the 69-yard drive. Dominic Hernandez out of Eric Parra's hold, 7-0 Rams with 7:10 on the first quarter clock. PVC benefits from a roughing the passer penalty on this Nolan Bramer attempt to Michael Bonham. The Victor Valley College Rams get a pair of second-quarter touchdown passes by freshman quarterback Evan Nelson within a 21-second time span against LA Valley. The first to Kadeem Richards from 4 yards out. Evan Nelson leaves the pocket, rolls left, then sidearms it to Samaj Brewer in the end zone on the scoring play from 15 yards out. Takeaways by a pair of former Silverado Hawks set up both touchdowns. Dana Jenkins with the pass interception at midfield, preceding the first VBC score. Dana Jenkins, the outstanding defensive back out of Silverado. He is 6'2", 200 pounds, his second season playing for Coach Dave Hoover's Rams. The Rams' first scoring drive shows Evan Nelson connecting twice with wide receiver Andrew Glass, the former Granite Hills Cougar. Next play, the crossing pattern. Andrew Glass, not reluctant to run the inside route, 18 yards on this reception to the 6. Andrew Glass leads Rams receivers this game with 4 passes caught for 66 yards. Evan Nelson rolls right, resets, spots Kadeem Richards in the end zone. Look, ref, no hands. The Rams are on the scoreboard. Former Hesperia Scorpion Mark Vasquez ties the score at 7. Mark Vasquez kicks off following VBC touchdown number 1. Cameron Spratley, 45, recovers the loose ball. Cameron Spratley, 6'1", 230-pound sophomore linebacker, a former Silverado Hawk. Rams have it at the 25. 4 plays later, the Rams go ahead on the Evan Nelson to Samaj Brewer touchdown pass from 15 yards out. Scoring plays from the Victor Valley College Rams season opener, brought to you by Griner Buick GMC.
Griner Buick GMC brings you Victor Valley College Sports Online Reports, presented by Griner Buick GMC in Victorville. Griner supports Victor Valley College Rams.
You are being called upon to help find solutions to improve our quality of life. High Desert residents are being urged to respond now to this online survey. Joseph W. Brady offers an acute observation from within the workings of a political arena. What is the most important duty of a board of directors or supervisors?
But the most important thing is to hire your CEO. So when I got to the college, and I had been around politics, I thought a fair amount at that point, I didn't think it would be so difficult. But when I got there, what I found was we had a very toxic atmosphere. We had no trust between our constituency groups and management. I think that people in management, I think the board had failed. I think the board had failed for years and years and years. I think that the board was just walking in emotion and doing whatever the superintendent president said versus the president superintendent working for the board. Through working with Dr. Chris O'Hearn, and then we went with Peter Allen on an interim basis. And then when we finally hired Dr. Wagner, the secret to success was hiring the right CEO. So while I thought as a board member trustee that I could say to somebody, I want those bathrooms painted, that's not what my job is. My job is to set policies, set a budget, but the most important thing is to hire your CEO. So if you're on a city council, your number one job is hire your city manager. If you're on the board of supervisors, your number one job is to hire the CAO. That's your most important job, because what ends up happening, Terry, and I found this the hard way. I bucked the system because I really thought that I knew how the system would work. Ultimately, you have to get a board that works together for the common goal. Our board finally had to decide, and we had wars for probably 3 years. We had a community group up here that, Dr. Pat Caldwell and Holly Noel and Diana Carloni and Shannon and multiple. Brandon Wood was actually a part of that group. Got involved and said enough is enough. So we had a $3.5 million structural deficit. We finally did that, but we had to chip away at it. We had to really reestablish a trust with all of our constituency groups. Today, when we go to our board meetings, my blood pressure is the lowest it's ever been for the last 3 years. Why? Because we've hired the right CEO. Dr. Walden that took over for Dr. Wagner. I mean, Roger Wagner was just absolutely the right guy at the right time. He believed in servant leadership. He had no ego. It was all about the better of the team. And I think that he brought a lot of trust. Once you bring that trust in, now you can make the fundamental changes. Do I expect that our college is going to, again, have financial issues to deal with in the future with rising pension costs, rising healthcare costs? All those costs are not decreasing, they're going to increase. Are they going to have it at the county level? Are they going to have it at the city levels? Yeah. The question is, how do you deal with it? And how do you, and those are the hard decisions that take, if you're on a 5-member board, 3 votes, on a 7-member board, 4 votes, and you really have to work.
This online report presented by Bradco Companies, the Community Table Restaurant, and the Holiday Inn in Victorville, supporting every effort to improve the quality of life and standard of living for all residents throughout our high desert communities. Your High Desert Sports Report is brought to you by Down Home Grill in Victorville on the corner of Bear Valley Road and Ridgecrest Drive. Bid fast and last. World-class auctioneers, family-owned and operated liquidation experts. Midway Home Solutions in Victorville, providing highest quality home appliances at discount prices for 6 decades. Valu Quality Truck Body, family owned and operated since 1954. Valu manufactures state-of-the-art truck bodies for the construction industry nationwide. Iwanzak Law Firm, trial lawyers for serious problems. And by the Community Table Restaurant in the Holiday Inn in Victorville, supporting High Desert teams, athletes, and sports programs.